Hey, what's up, everybody? Tony Mac here. I'm just gonna record just while I'm changing the strings on my custom shop Stratocaster here for a gig that I have on Friday, and I have a certain way that I do it. Doesn't make it wrong or right. Just thought some of you guys that are afraid to change your strings on your own, like I used to be, are not afraid by the way I do it. By a lot of people that I've got some help from along the way, including guys from Tone Tailors like John LeClaire, Rob McGargle from Taylor, and a few others that have really eased my mind. But I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to check the action real fast before I change these strings, and I'm going to check the intonation real fast. I generally like to check those things before I change the strings. This way, if I have to do it after, it's very minor at that point. But anyway, let's get started. All right, so I got my pick here. I got my Peterson Strobo clip tuner, which I really love to use. It gets it pretty close to being accurate. Let me set that real quick to guitar. Ready to go. Let's tune it up. Always tune below pitch and then come back up to pitch when you're tuning for proper tuning technique too. Now, I'm not as good as some of those guys that can just use the tuning fork and just kind of hit it on the table and put it on the, listen to the sound and then tune it up to that. I cannot do that. I am not that skilled. So you don't have to be. This is just everyday guitar, kind of, I would say, minor guitar tech stuff that it's very helpful to know to be able to take care of your own guitars. And that was rare. The G was a little bit sharp on that. That's pretty rare on this guitar for that to happen. Anyway, if you guys see anything that I'm doing that you're not sure of, hit me up in the comments, ask any questions, and after I post the video, I'll filter through them and I'll answer anything that you have. If you think anything I'm doing looks unorthodox to you, that's okay too. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Yeah, let's just do that. So now I'm going to check the intonation, which I'm going to go down to the 12th fret, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12. I'm going to play the note lightly. And notice, I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on the string, just enough to hit the note. And see where the note resides, the C. And this is very, very, the low E is very good. The A is a little bit flat. The D is just a hair flat. I'm going to hit the harmonic on that one too, just to see it. Looks very close when you just do the harmonic. So does the A. So it might just a minor adjustment. G's going a little bit wild, but it does that usually when the G string gets old and needs to be changed. So I'm probably going to hold off on that one before I do anything until I get the new strings on. B is good. E is good. They're all pretty good. These two, the low E is good. The A is a little bit off. I'm going to wait till I change the strings on that though. But it's really just as simple as getting a screwdriver, loosening the strings that you're going to adjust a little bit. And right here, there's a little screw on the edge of the bridge plate. And if you tightening it up will move it, or loosening will move the saddle up and back. And that will adjust your intonation to keep it on, especially because I play up here a lot, even when I'm doing chording, when I'm playing with bands, so I can kind of get that high note that really stands out, like in a mix somewhere in a song. You know what I'm talking about. So, but I want that to sound in tune with the rest when I go up to here and back to here. So intonation is extremely, extremely important, especially when you're playing with a full band, when everyone's in tune. So I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to take the tuner off, and I am going to loosen the strings. So it's good to invest in in one of these. You can get this from who I got Music Nomad, and they make this little adapter for any like hand drill or whatever, and it makes it so much easier to change the string. So I loosen them that way too, and I always work from the outsides in. So this way when the tension comes down, it comes down very evenly. So I'm going to loosen up, and I'm going to make sure I have it go in the right direction. Always do that. You don't want to tighten it accidentally and make the string pop. Pull up on the string as it comes out. Boom. Go to the other. Oh, this is not an acoustic. It's all on the same side. Pull up on the string until it comes loose. I just like doing this because it just keeps it even, and the string comes out a lot better. And I still can't, I'm so used to doing acoustic guitars, I keep flipping to the other side of the guitar, but it's not necessary. All right. Now, once I get the strings out of here, actually, I'll show you now. I'll pull these off to the side. I have this old style, so you can see a little bit better. This kind of, where it's top loaded for the string. You put the string in the top, and then you wind it, and then it automatically slides all the way down. It locks in, and then when you tune it, it stays locked inside, which I really like that. It makes it a lot easier and faster to change the strings. Now, I do not keep the back plate on, and so it makes it very easy. And these are bullet ends, which makes it even better than that. I send them all through. Most of the time, I can grab all 6, pull them all through at the same time. But you can see I made a mistake because I forgot the ends are a little twisted. I have to cut the ends off first. So I'm going to do that really fast. That's better. Leave those there. Now I can grab the strings, pull the rest out. All good. And one thing I like to do, because I'm pretty particular when I'm working on a guitar, I take the ends and I kind of wrap these up. Because when you just throw these in the trash can and then you go to throw something out and you're not paying attention, changing the bag, these will come through and poke into your fingertips. And that's not good for us guitar players, as you know. So I'm going to grab my trash can so I can throw these out very quickly here. I'll be right back. There we go. By the way, the table I'm using, this was my wife's idea. She found a table for me to use as a mobile bench. It folds up in half so I can store it away. This is my music room down here. I open it up. I have a Music Nomad mat and headrest, which makes it easy. And I have all my tools that I need out here to work on this guitar, which makes it easy peasy. All right, so now before I put the strings on, I go over the guitar. I make sure everything's tight. I'm gonna want to clean the fretboard a little bit. And because there's electronics on here, I am gonna want to use some steel wool to clean these frets down. This is not a full cleaning by any means, but it is a cleaning nonetheless. And that's a little bit wide, so I like to take these, and I like to take the tape, blue painter's tape by the way, and cover the pickups at least on here because they are metal, they're magnetic, and I don't want the shavings from, actually I'm going to cover, I usually cover this too, all the way, because I don't want those shavings and those little metal shards from using the steel wool to get inside the electronics, which, as you know, that can be very bad. Do that. I'm using a lot of extra tape here just to be safe. I'm out of my middle. I have one that's halfway between this and this. I'm out of that right now. I have to get that. make that a little bit, actually I can cut this in half, tearing it, and I'm just going to do this side of the tone knobs. And I am making a mess, but either way, it doesn't have to look pretty. This is for one reason and one reason only. I'm just going to take a little, I got quadruple O steel wool. I'm just going to lift the neck a little bit, and I'm just going to go up and down. You only want to go up and down on the frets like this when you're doing it. This is a rosewood fingerboard, so it's safe to do this. Do not do this on a maple treated fingerboard. It will ruin the finish on the fingerboard, and so you don't want to do that. If it's not treated, if it's rosewood, something like that, you can do it. What's one of the other, I have another guitar that has a, is it maybe oven call or something like that. Yeah, it's oven call. So this is pretty clean. It's not too dirty, which I can see. The frets look nice. Now, if the frets are very dirty and from a lot of grime and dirt in there, I have these things from Music Nomad too. They slide right over the fret. It protects the fingerboard, and then I can just clean each fret like this. And it makes it very easy, very nice. You don't ruin the finish on the guitar or on the fretboard itself. So I just did a couple there just to show you. These are great from Music Nomad too. No, I am not sponsored by them. I have a myriad of different different products that I use for this stuff. So now it seems like a waste of tape because I did waste a lot of it here, but we can pull this off now. And one thing I'm going to do sometimes, what I do before I pull the tape off is I use my brush here and I clean off the guitar. But I'm so used to doing this like this, and I'm very careful at it. I'm just going to wipe that clean. Now that you got the strings off, you got the fingerboard off, I want to give the guitar just a quick little polish. Now, if your guitar is very, very grimy, which mine is not because I wipe it down all the time, one thing I recommend is having a water bottle and a roll of paper towels. I have a smallest amount of dish soap in here. So when you shake it up, you can kind of it gets a little sudsy. Take a paper towel. This I learned from Rob McGargle from Taylor. He did this on one of his videos. And I have a nitrocellulose finish on this, so it's safe. So you just wet it. This is warm water. So you're just going to give it a quick wipe down any areas especially where your arm rests on a guitar, down here or up here. Or like me, I sweat when I play, so right here gets a little bit grimy. So I'm just going to wipe it down anyway because I am a little OCD with my guitars anyhow. It looks like I have some scratches and things on this guitar, but I'll be honest with you, like a ding here, ding on the front. This is a relic. So it's a journeyman relic, which means it's designed to look that way. I just always loved the way that worn in, beat up guitars looked. Not too much, because I like the aesthetics too. So this worked for me, and I knew it would take me a long, long time to get it to look like that with how I take care of the guitar. So I bought one that's reliced already. So I'm going to wipe that down. Usually what I do too is I take a little half a sheet and I just dry it. Make sure I don't have any moisture or residue left on the guitar after wiping it down. And always get the back of the neck here when you're wiping the guitar down. Don't forget, that's where your skin really meets the guitar in the most points there, and you get the most skin gunk on. I know it sounds gross. You get the skin gunk on the back of the guitar. So you want to get that stuff off. Got the strings off, so take advantage of that. And wipe the pick guard down in between. Like on top of the pickups, in between here, makes it look nice. So now I'm going to put those off to the side. I might use those paper towels later. I don't like to waste things if I don't have to. I'm done with this. Now, I like using Gibson brand guitar polish for my nitrocellulose finish because it smells good and it works the best. I know Gibson doesn't make their own. They probably have somebody make it for them. Just spray a little bit on there, and then I'm just gonna, this is not rocket science, I'm just gonna buff it in there a little bit. Let me move my little hand drill there. Gonna get in all the grooves. Now, this isn't just important because it makes the guitar look shiny and new and nice. It's important because it's like when you wax a car. So you're putting this on, so when you play it, every time you play it and you wipe it down, it wipes clean. It's kind of resists the dust a little bit, so it doesn't get dirty fast. And it's easy to wipe down and clean. And it looks great when you're done. So you can see I'm doing the back of the neck here. Now I'm just going to take my rag. I'm going to take this side that had the polish on it, which was this one, and I'm going to reverse it. This is just a larger microfiber cloth. I keep a gigantic bag of these, and I have new ones too that I keep using. But the big ones like this, I have a large amount. I keep washing them every so many uses, and then I keep recycling them. But you can't use fabric softener when you wash them. You have to just put them in the regular wash with no fabric softener, because otherwise you'll lose it loses the ability to do what it does best, and that's to wipe off what you're putting in there. It makes it too soft. Okay, so now everything's good here. I can put my cloth over here. We're done with that for now. Now let's get to the main course. We're ready to put the strings on. I use 10s on all my electric guitars for the most part. And I use Fender Classic Core nickel plated 10 through 46. I just like the bullet ends. I used to use coated strings on my electrics all the time. And I realized that I didn't need to. I like the bullet ends, and I'd rather change them just a little more frequently because to my ear, and this is all subjective of course, it stays in tune a little bit nicer, and the tone just sounds, I just get the nice rounded sounds out of the notes that I'm looking for. The coated ones have a little bit of that feel that I do like on it. It helps your hands slide better, but I like the way these sound just a little bit more. So, like I said, let's get to the main course. This is the 1st and 4th string in the first pack. They put 2 in a pack. It's easy to tell which one goes where because you got 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th, 5th, 6th. For those of you that are watching that don't know, it does go backwards, so when you're holding the guitar this way, the string on the furthest side away from you is the 1st string, and the one closest to you is the 6th string. So it's kind of upside down. So I'm going to unravel these. I'm going to put the 4th string off to the side. So I have this little plate over here that's magnetic. So I'm going to lay the 1 string in there. So what I'm going to do is I hold the string, the guitar up in the air, and I'm just going to slide right through here. It comes out through the bridge, pull straight, good to go. So there's different ways to do this. I like to just leave this up resting against my shoulder like this because I don't have to move a whole lot. I can even keep taking the strings out as I put these in. Take the new ones out of the pack, that is. And that doesn't go there. I'm more focused on you guys on the camera than I am on putting the string where it belongs. It's okay to make a mistake. We all make mistakes when we do these things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can just count and know this is the 4th slot. I got the 1 and 4 in. Now we're going to go for the 2 and 5. Hey, in your comments, tell me what kind of strings that you guys like to use, what kind of gauge, and or what kind of guitar you guys are playing. I like this guitar that I'm changing the strings on now. This is my favorite. The Strat is my favorite. I do have a Telly. I do have a Les Paul. And I do use those frequently too, but I use this one more than any other guitar that I have. Tell me what you like to play. What's your favorite guitar? And tell me why. It doesn't have to be, it can be silly. It can be because you like the way it looks best. Like there's a lot to be said about aesthetics. If you're going to play something and you want to have fun and you don't like the way it looks, kind of takes the fun out of it, for me anyway. So aesthetics do matter. It doesn't always give you 100% of the tone that you want. So when you go into the studio, if you do and you're working with a producer, they might put a different guitar in your hand and say, I need you to make this work. But don't buck them on it. They're doing it for a reason. They're trying to help you get that sound that you're looking for. And I keep dropping this string. There we go. 3 times the charm, right? By the way, I've never done one of these videos before. This is my first one, but I wanted to do it for a long time, and I'm always in too much of a rush, and I slowed down today, and I wanted to do this video. I do have my wife upstairs right now. She's reading. My son's upstairs. He might either be working. He works from home he's a electrical engineer. He works from home, and well, at least for now, he landed a very, very great job, and he will be leaving us soon, and I'm going to miss him when he goes, but it's still nice having him home. Even just hearing him upstairs, you guys have family and stuff, it's just nice having family home. Sorry, I had to focus there on that one for a minute. 3, 1 more string in. I usually do this a lot faster. I am trying to kind of lower my angle so the camera can pick up everything. I might want to think about getting a different camera and maybe a better angle so I can let the camera pick up everything in frame while I'm doing this. So I got them all through. Now I'm going to just hold them. I'm going to lay the guitar down carefully. And I'm going to split them 3 and 3. Those 3 on that side, these 3 on this side. So now when I go to string it, this is where it gets a little funky from where you guys might do things or have seen people change strings. Well, this one you have to, but I cut the string before I wrap it. And on these you have to because they have the post. It's the top load post where you put the string in. So, but I do this with all my guitars, whether they have this or not. So what I'm going to do is I put the string through, pull it up tight. I go to the post it's going to go in. And then I measure 1.5 posts past or up to 2. These are very close together. So this is the 3rd one. And by the way, when I string this, I go from the inside out. So I'm going to string 4, then 3, 5, then 2, 6, then 1. Same idea to get that tension evenly distributed from the center outward so it doesn't twist the neck, it doesn't pull. Yeah, you have a better shot at keeping the action and everything the same on the guitar when you change your strings. So now I'm at the 3rd post up here on string 4. 3rd one up from the top of the neck, that is. So then I'm gonna measure there, and then I'm gonna go up 1 post and up 1.5 posts. Oh, well, I'm gonna go almost 2. Then I'm gonna cut the string. Now, on this guitar, it goes into the top, and then you just pull it down. Now I'm gonna grab my string winder tool, and I'm just gonna hold it in place as it winds. I'm gonna put my thumb down, hold the string up in the air to make sure it stays on a downward angle going in until it hits the nut slot. Not all the way, just tight enough where it's not gonna move. Now that string's done. Now we're gonna go to string 3, gonna rinse and repeat. Go to that post, I'm gonna go up almost 2, cut the string. And it's always good to orientate the tuner in a direction that's best to get the string in and around, whether it's top loaded or side loaded. Now that's in, I'm gonna start it, let it wind, pull back. There we go, it's in. Matter of fact, I'm gonna loosen that a little bit. That's the G string, I don't want it to be too tight, not right away. Now, my Strat's a little bit different than other Strats you might see, because most Strats and Tellies right here, they have that little bridge here, that little T bridge that holds the strings underneath. The way this is designed with the tuners, they go down and get smaller towards the back, so it naturally brings the string down, so I don't need that little string tree right here to hold the B and the E down. Some of them even have it on the D and the G to hold them down. I do not need that on my guitar, which another reason why I like it. It's one less thing to have to worry about. Now we're going to go to string 5, go to that post. We're going to go up almost 2, cut it. That one's already oriented very well, so I can get that in there, start it. Oh, I'm gonna stop, I went a little too fast, didn't get my fingers out of there in time. That happens sometimes to me. There we go. And I'm gonna undo that because I see that because my fingers got caught, the winds went up a little bit. So I'm gonna fix that and make sure it goes down. And there we go. Good as gold. Off to string 2. Also, while we're at it in here, why don't you share with me, if you want to, what kind of music do you like to play the best? Well, there really is 2 questions here. What kind of music do you like to play the best, as opposed to what kind of music do you like to listen to the best? And because they can be different for me at times, and it's interesting because the stuff that I really like to listen to is not always stuff that's easy, or it might be outside of my range and scope of being able to play. It's just not my thing. Like I do like some heavy music. I like some early Metallica and stuff like that, but I'm not built like that to be a shredder. I don't have that very fast attack right hand. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the way that I like to play the best, and I never really worked on it. So, but here's the other thing. When I play, though, I love to play songs like U2. I love U2. I really like playing Radiohead songs. Who else? And then, and 70s stuff too. I love playing Allman Brothers. I love playing even older stuff, like even some of the Paul Simon stuff, and even on his Graceland album from the 80s. Playing that stuff is just really cool to me to hear those guitar sounds. I'm an effects guy. I love coloring the sound with effects to complement the other guitar player. And so if you like to do that kind of stuff, tell me what songs you like to play. What's your style of play? And what do you like to listen to most? It'd be really cool to hear from you guys on that stuff. And this is the last string, and my one light is out down here, so I'm having the string is so thin, because it's a 10, trying to see it, to get it in there, I'm having a hard time. So I might, there we go, I got it. From doing it so many times, you get used to it. Okay, so all the strings are on. I can move my handheld winder out of the way there. I can get rid of the strings that I clipped. But now all the strings are on and they're ready to go. So now we're gonna tune it, put the strobo clip back on. This isn't necessarily the best way to do this, but I like it a lot because it's easy. It's fast and easy. You can get a strobo, a Peterson strobo tuner to have on your table and just have the guitar plugged in. This is very close. It's close enough for me. If I'm working on somebody else's guitar, I might pull out the big gear and use that to do this, but this is going to be good enough for us tonight. So now when I tune, I'm going to, because of the tension, I'm going to tune the same way I put the strings on from the inside out. So I'm going to go to string 4. I'm going to turn that so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to tune up, not quite to D. So this is the D string. I'm just going to get it to like C sharp a little better. I'm going to tune it up to within a half a step of where it belongs to get started. So that's an F sharp. It's a little over F sharp for the G. The A string is almost at A already. I knew that one was close. There, it's a G sharp A. Now let's go to the B string. That's an A. Get that at least to A sharp. What I'm doing is I'm giving the guitar a little bit of time to acclimate to the new strings and getting the tension put back on it again. Go to the low E. This is usually the hardest one to get to read. Oh, but look at that, it came right up. I'm right, made a liar out of me. Right there at D sharp. Now the high E is the last one. That's a D sharp. Now I'm gonna stretch the strings a little bit. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can just grab the string with your index finger and your thumb and just right up, pull it back. You can do it 1, 2, 3 like this. And that's good. I am a little bit more intense. I like to put my fingers under the string and slightly pull up as I move up the neck. If you can see what I'm doing here. Not real hard. I'm just kind of giving a little bit of a wiggle up and down to loosen the string evenly over the fretboard. Now, when I do this process on a guitar, whether it's my acoustic, my electrics, my guitars generally do not fall out of tune when I play live. It's one of the things that I can kind of boast about a little bit, is that my guitars stay in tune very, very well, and probably better than I play, but I guess a lot of us can say that. So after I get this done here, and I'm gonna rinse and repeat this process as well. So now I'm gonna tune it up to full standard, going from the middle again. Go to the D, see it drop down to a C from it, so it already lost a little tension, but that's the point of stretching the strings. Stretching the strings is very, very crucial when you put new strings on. It helps give it a little bit, you still get that crisp sound from the new strings, but it feels like they're a little bit broken in already by stretching them out. I know it's a little bit more time consuming, it's so worth it. Make sure you do it. I want to check on something here real fast. Okay, all right, we're still going. I couldn't tell if my camera was still on or not. It's okay, my wife's used to me down here doing this, talking to myself. I figure I might as well talk to you guys while I'm doing it. Okay, again, make sure you tune up to the note. Maybe my camera's picking up my son talking in the background. I can hear him upstairs on the phone. It's a family affair here. My wife is an amazing singer. My daughter is in high school and she can play guitar some. I taught her some. She's teaching herself now. And she has an amazing voice. I sing and play acoustically, so it's a family affair when it comes to music in here. Music just really fuels our life here at home. There we go. Now it's tuned up. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stretch the strings one more time. Thanks for hanging in there with me too if you're still watching. I know it's long. It might be a little bit boring, but it's good stuff. It's helpful, especially if you're newer to doing your string change and you're afraid to take all the strings off at one time. I used to be deathly afraid of that. It's only been the past, I don't know, 5 years or so where I got used to taking all the strings off at once and working on the guitar. And it was because of the guitar techs in the area at the local guitar shops that would talk to me, like John LeClaire from Tone Tailors right here in Lititz, PA, and some other friends of mine that would work on me doing that stuff too. It's all good stuff. I'm going to tune it one more time from the inside out and we should be good to go. Then we're going to do the finishing touches and wrap it up. I'm going to check the intonation one more time. I'll tell you what, for November 6th, it is hot here in Lititz, PA. I'm about an hour and a half west of Philadelphia. Not sure where you're watching from, but just to give you an idea. I'm from Philly. We moved out here several years back to, well, because it's cheaper out this way than it is in the city of Philadelphia. So I do miss the city for the music, but I love living out here. Lititz is a very, very cool town. Tell me where you guys are. Tell me where you guys live. Tell me where you're watching from. There we go. Low E was not cooperating there for a minute. Takes a minute for that. The low E is usually the hardest one for me to get to stay in tune. It's the one that wants to slip out, so sometimes I give that one a third stretch if I have to. We're good. I think I'm going to check it one more time from beginning to end. Almost there. All right, let's go back to checking that intonation down to the 12th fret. Let's play the note. The E is on. The A is on. The D is there. The G is good. Come on, B. The B is hanging. And the E is there, so I didn't adjust them because they were very minor, and sometimes changing the strings will fix your intonation on that. Once again, I'm Tony Mack. Hit like, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos. I have a couple pedal videos up on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of Name That tunes on there too you can check out, and I'm going to do some more guitar tech stuff. It's not really guitar tech. This is like home guitar tech stuff. It's kind of like the DIY guitar tech. I would never call myself a guitar tech yet, but maybe one day. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Have a great night.